Ask KB is my favorite segment we do on a weekly because it gives you an opportunity to be a part of the show. All you got to do is hit us up on Twitter with the hashtag AskKB or reply to the tweet. Hit us up on Instagram if you want to send a voice message, or hell, be in the comment section of the YouTube video. All of these places are places you can go in order to be incorporated in the episode. The first one comes from Cash, maybe? Hashtag AskKB. I know it's very early in their careers, but did the Wizards make the right pick choosing Sarr over Castle? I've seen a lot of debate on Twitter and feel like if Sarr had better pieces around him play, people would respect him and what he's doing more. What do you think? It does kind of go into the conversation we had at the top of the show with the Washington Wizards that if they had a couple more just normal NBA players, good NBA players in the locker room, maybe it would help Alex Sarr shine a little bit. But here's what I would say. If we were doing a 2024 NBA redraft, I think 99% of people would take Stephon Castle number one. I don't think that's a controversial take. I think Stephon Castle, as a guy that was looked at, and I went back to look at some mocks, and I'll talk about that in a second. A guy that was projected to be like a high energy defensive player with the potential offensive upside has already showed you, 100 games to his career, whatever numbers that the offensive upside is real, and it continues to get better and better. And I think that we like the idea of a guy that can change his pace as a guard, a guy that can defend your best player, a guy that can get downhill, a lot. So I think the redraft says that. But also, as I went back to look at all of the mocks, I'm talking about BR, I'm talking ESPN, I'm talking CBS, I'm talking even independent guys, guys that really care about the scouting, the drafting aspect of sports. Not a single person has Stephon Castle higher than Alex Sarr on their mocks. So it's easy for us to say, oh, they should have taken Castle, but there wasn't anybody, at least the whatever amount of mocks that I went back to look, not a single person had Castle higher than Sarr. Sarr was 1 on a lot of boards. Sarr was 2 on a lot of boards. I saw Stephon Castle as low as 6 on some boards, right? So we could talk about progression. We could talk about the fact that, Castle has a better infrastructure around him to make him look good, but I don't like looking at that revisionist history and saying that, oh, they made the wrong decision because somebody may look better right now when there was no world where that player would have been drafted in that spot. 29 teams across basketball made the wrong decision by letting Nikola Jokic drop to the second round. But it would have been unrealistic for the number one pick to be Nikola Jokic, right? But now we know Nikola Jokic is the best player in that draft. So I don't think they made the wrong decision. I do believe that what Alex Sarr has showed us this season, that he is a guy that will be an impactful, really good to maybe great NBA player for a long time in his league. I do believe that regardless of what the on-off defensive numbers say, that when the team is trying to be good, you will recognize on a nightly basis that he is a plus defensive player. And if he continues to round out his offensive game and continue to improve his touch around the basket and continue to just be more aggressive offensively, I think that we will go back and be like, oh yeah, Alex Sarr was worthy of the pick that he was taken at number 2. But it's a very good question. I actually like the conversations around it. The next one comes from Denver Dispatch. What would you rank Jamal Murray as a duo at their peak all time? Do they crack the top 10? Now, I don't know how to really answer this question. And the reason for that is there's still so much time left in these conversations. Because if you want to compare them to Stockton and Malone, obviously got the championship over those guys, but you want to compare them to Scottie and MJ, the guys that played the bulk of majority of their careers together, it's too early, right? There's a world where the Denver Nuggets still got 2 more championships, 3 more championships up their sleeves, and then we can have these conversations. But there's just too many between Magic, Kareem. I mean, I don't know. Do you break up trios to make duos? Right? Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, you can count that as a duo, but you also say, hey, Klay Thompson was here. So I can break that up as a duo and say Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, they had this success. MJ and Pippen, Kobe and Shaq, like that. Those are already a lie. Even Karl Malone and John Stockton. It's a tough one because Karl Malone he underperformed postseason wise, and because of that, they never really got to the championship, obviously. So maybe that's more of a debate. If you want to go way back to the Bill Russell and Sam Jones, so there's too many great all-time duos for me to say they're in the top 10 as of today. I think that they definitely have the potential to be in this top 10 by especially Jamal Murray about to make an all-star appearance, ladies and gentlemen. That's a real thing. But between, I ain't even mentioned Bird and McHale, right? Those guys. List goes on and on. Wade and Bron, Kyrie and Bron. Like, what? How do we do this, y'all? So it's still too early, Denver Dispatch, but there is a true opportunity from the end up like that. And I think a lot of that has to do with, again, Nikola Jokic being so good. But they also have something that maybe some of those other duos don't have. Some of those other duos have like just the overall talent, overwhelming talent. The thing that the Denver guys have is that not only are they super talented, but they play so well together that they are a 1-2 punch in the single action. And some of those other teams, like, hey man, it's my turn to hoop because I'm a top 10 player, just like you a top 10 player right now. But ask me the same exact question in 4 years' time, and we'll really have a conversation. The next one comes from Ryan. #AskKB. Is there a third player who you think will seriously contend for MVP this season, or is it just another two-man race between Jokic and Shea? Hey, Ryan, sorry to break it to you. I don't know if you are a guy that thinks that there should be a third guy. Nah. You know what Luka would have to do to actually end up in this conversation? Do you know what Giannis would have to do? Well, Giannis may not be eligible by the end of it all with all the injury and stuff, but do you know what Giannis would have to do to actually end up in this conversation? The conversation right now is Shea is on the best team in basketball. Well, one time it looked like it might have been an all-time team. Maybe it still has a chance. Probably not. But not only just that, he came off last year where he had the best guard season almost ever. And some people would argue ever. And then came into this season, regular season-wise, and looked better. Looked like a better playmaker. Closed out more games. Been more efficient. It's kind of nuts to win a championship or win a championship and MVP and say, I'm better offensively. And then the other guy, Big Yoke, is like, I'm the best player in the world, one. I'm about to average another triple-double if we talk about just traditional statistics. And right now, my team is down 3 starters, and they've only played 2 games, and they're 1-1 in those 2 games. My team is down 3 starters, and we should be able to just maintain 3 starters, and we should be able to maintain. They're starting a two-way guy at the 4, and it just has not mattered. That's special. If you ask me today, right before the start of 2026, who's the MVP of the league? Today, right now, Jokic is my number 1, and Shea is my number 2. And it could flip again. Hell, it was just Shea 2.5 weeks ago. This is always a fluid conversation. But nah, I think it's a really, really distant third place, like Luka or something. Matter of fact, let's not do or something. Let's really say third place. That's tough, man. That's really, really tough, the third place spot. I think I'm just gonna say Luka. I know I said I'm just gonna say Luka right now. I don't know. But that lets you know there's a huge gap between 1 and 2. Huge gap between 1 and 2. Okay. The last question that we have is an audio question. Let's see what y'all cooked up.
Hey Kenny, this is Daniel. I'm sorry, I'm currently playing golf, but I just wanted to ask, if you're Kobe Altman at this current moment, would you prefer to trade Jarrett Allen or Darius Garland if the Cavs continue to be mediocre? As a Cavs fan, I've seen the offense as Mitchell as the leading point guard, and I think it becomes pretty simplified, and it forces him to do a lot. But I would be interested to know your thoughts. Thank you.
What a life. First of all, I want to say thank you because you are playing golf and you're actively thinking about Ask KB. That's nuts to me. That's the time I shut my brain off and I'm just trying not to miss my birdie putt. Okay, my double bogey putt. You understand what I'm saying? I wonder how, because it sounded like I heard a little accent in there. I don't know where the accent is from. I don't know. It kind of sounded a little bit Australian. I could be wrong, and I know that technically the Cavs have 2 Australian players, technically between Tyrese Proctor and Luke Travers. So I don't know if you got your fandom from there. But anyway, I think it's more likely that if they were going to make the trade and say who's the odd man out, it would be Jarrett Allen. I mean, Jarrett Allen just basically at this point in time doesn't really close out NBA games anymore. I think he is a guy that can help bridge the gap for other teams that are not trying to compete for championships, like teams that need center play but aren't trying to win. And I feel like that might just be who he is as a player right now, which is completely fine. That's still a good ball player and all. But as you can see over the last couple of weeks, Darius Garland has looked like himself more times than not, and that's a little bit more intriguing. Well, I feel like trading away Jarrett Allen might be the easiest thing you can do, unless the report about Darius Garland wanting his own team where he can be the initiator is true. Then the decision was made for you, because if somebody don't want to be here, you don't want them to be there. So I appreciate the question, and I appreciate all the questions as always.